Derry is a small town with a dark secret. Tucked away in Maine, it's the kind of place you might drive through without a second thought. But if you look closer, you'll sense something isn't quite right. The air feels heavier here, as if the town itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. The streets are quiet, but there's a tension that lingers, especially after the sun goes down. On the surface, it looks like any other town. Kids ride bikes, parents go to work, the sun shines, neighbors greet each other with polite smiles, and the lawns are neatly trimmed. There's a sense of normalcy, a picture-perfect calm that makes Derry seem safe, even idyllic. But beneath that cheerful exterior, there's an unspoken understanding. Something is off. People here are careful not to ask too many questions, and sometimes they look over their shoulders for reasons they can't explain. But you know, something evil lurks beneath. It's not just the stories parents tell to scare their kids. There's a real darkness here, hiding in the corners and waiting for the right moment to strike. Sometimes, you can almost feel it watching you, just out of sight, feeding on the town's silence and secrets. The people of Derry don't talk about the darkness. They try to forget. They keep their heads down, hoping that if they ignore it, it will go away. But deep down, everyone remembers the stories. The missing children, the strange disappearances, the things that go bump in the night. It's easier to pretend nothing's wrong to keep the past buried than to face the truth. But every 27 years, it returns, and children disappear. The cycle repeats itself. Like a curse the town can't escape. Parents lock their doors and pray their kids will come home safe. The playgrounds grow silent, and fear settles over Derry like a thick fog. No one knows exactly what causes it, but everyone feels its presence. The evil feeds on fear. It grows stronger when people are afraid, twisting their nightmares into something real. It knows how to get inside your head, to make you doubt what's real and what's just your imagination. In Derry, fear isn't just a feeling, it's a weapon. It knows what scares you most. It can become your worst nightmare, taking the shape of your deepest fears. For some, it's a monster in the closet. For others, it's the face of a clown grinning in the dark. Whatever you're most afraid of, it will find you, and it will use your fears against you. It twists your mind, making you question what's real. The more you try to run, the closer it gets. In Derry, fear is more than just a feeling. It's a living, breathing thing that hunts you when you're most vulnerable. Derry is a place where nightmares are real. The shadows here have teeth, and the darkness is always hungry. It's a town haunted by its own history, where the past never truly stays buried. Every corner hides a secret, and every night brings new terrors. And honestly, the only way to survive is to face your fears. In Derry, courage is the only thing that keeps the darkness at bay. If you run, it will find you. But if you stand your ground, you just might have a chance. Because in this town, nightmares are real. But so is hope. In the heart of Derry, Maine, a small town with secrets lurking in every shadow, a group of kids find each other. Their paths cross not by chance, but by the invisible threads of fear and loneliness that tie them together. In a place where adults seem blind to the darkness creeping in, these children become each other's lifeline. They call themselves the Losers Club. To the outside world, they're misfits, kids who don't quite fit in, who are picked on, ignored, or simply overlooked. But together, they find strength in their differences, and a sense of belonging that none of them have ever known before. Each kid is different. Each kid is an outcast. Their struggles are unique, but their pain is the same. They carry invisible scars, wounds that the world can't see, but that shape who they are, and how they see the world. Bill Denbrough stutters, his words often tangled on his tongue. He is haunted by the loss of his little brother Georgie, whose disappearance has left a hole in his heart that nothing can fill. Every day, Bill is driven by guilt and grief, determined to find answers no matter how terrifying they might be. Beverly Marsh lives with an abusive father, her home a place of fear rather than safety. She's learned to hide her bruises and her tears, but inside she's stronger than anyone knows. Beverly's courage is quiet, but it burns bright, even when the world tries to snuff it out. Ben Hanscom is bullied for being overweight. He spends his days dodging cruel words and mean-spirited pranks, finding comfort in books and his own imagination. Ben's loneliness is deep, but his heart is even deeper, full of kindness, hope, and a longing for friendship. Richie Tozier talks too much. His jokes and voices a shield against the world. Behind his wisecracks and wild stories, Richie hides his insecurities, afraid that if he ever stops talking, the silence will swallow him whole. Eddie Casbrack is afraid of germs, his life ruled by anxiety and a mother who sees danger everywhere. Eddie clings to his inhaler and routines, desperate for a sense of control in a world that feels unpredictable and unsafe. Mike Hanlon is an outsider because of his race, growing up on the edges of Derry's tight-knit community. He's learned to keep his guard up, to watch and wait, but he longs for acceptance and a place to belong. Stan Uris is terrified of the unknown. He craves order and logic, but Derry is a place where nothing makes sense, and the things that lurk in the shadows defy explanation. These kids are different, but they share a bond. They are all afraid, of bullies, of parents, of being alone, and of the strange evil that seems to haunt their town. Their fears are real, and so is the courage they find in each other. And they all know deep down that something is wrong in Derry. Something ancient, something hungry, something that only they seem to see. But together they might just be brave enough to face it. Pennywise, the dancing clown, is the stuff of nightmares. He is a monster who can change his shape. He becomes your worst fear. Are you scared of spiders? Pennywise is a giant spider. Do you fear drowning? Pennywise will pull you under. But Pennywise is more than just a clown. He is an ancient evil. He's called It. It feeds on fear. It gets stronger with every victim. Pennywise uses tricks to lure children. He promises them balloons and candy. He pretends to be friendly, but behind his smile is a monster. The Losers Club must fight against Pennywise. But you know, they are just kids. They are afraid, yet somehow they find strength in each other. Their friendship gives them courage. They learn to rely on each other. Bill is the leader. Beverly is the strong one. Ben is the planner. Richie provides humor in dark times. Eddie learns to be brave. Mike uses his knowledge of Derry's history to fight back. Stan confronts his fear of the unknown. Together, the Losers Club faces their fears. They learn that they are stronger together than they are alone. It is a story that, well, stays with you. Long after you close the book or the credits roll on the movie, the images and feelings linger in your mind. The story of It is more than just a tale about a monster in a small town. It's a haunting exploration of what frightens us most, both as children and as adults. The fear doesn't just fade away with age, it evolves, taking on new shapes as we grow older. Even as adults, we remember the fear, the memories of what scared us as kids. Those shadows in the corner, the creaks in the hallway, the feeling that something is lurking just out of sight, never truly disappear. Instead, they become part of who we are, shaping the way we see the world and the way we respond to the unknown. Why is it still so scary? Why does this story continue to haunt us, no matter how many times we revisit it? The answer lies in the way It taps into the universal fears that we all share, the ones that are buried deep within us and that we often try to ignore, because it speaks to our deepest fears. The kind of fears that are hard to name but impossible to forget. It doesn't just scare us with monsters and jump scares. It unsettles us by holding up a mirror to the things we dread most: being alone, being powerless, being misunderstood, or not being believed. We are all afraid of something: spiders, clowns, the dark. But it's not just about the obvious things. Sometimes it's the fear of what we can't see, or the fear of what might be hiding in plain sight. It takes these everyday anxieties and magnifies them, making us question what is real and what is imagined. It reminds us that fear is a part of life. No matter how old we get, we never truly outgrow it. Instead, we learn to live with it, to manage it, and sometimes to use it as a source of strength. The story of It shows us that fear can be both a warning and a teacher, guiding us through the darkness. The story also shows us how fear can control us. It can make us freeze, make us hide, or make us turn away from the things we need to face. In Derry, the adults are so consumed by their own fears that they become blind to the danger right in front of them. The adults in Derry are paralyzed by fear. They look the other way, pretending that nothing is wrong. Even as evil grows stronger around them, their silence and denial allow the darkness to thrive, making them just as vulnerable as the children they should be protecting. They ignore the evil around them. They become victims. By refusing to acknowledge their fears, they give those fears more power. The story warns us about the dangers of denial and the importance of facing the truth, no matter how frightening it may be, but it also gives us hope. It reminds us that even in the darkest times, there is a way forward. That courage can be found, even when we feel most afraid. The story is not just about terror, it's about resilience, friendship, and the power of coming together. The Losers Club shows us that we can overcome our fears. By standing together, by believing in each other, and by refusing to give in to despair, they find the strength to fight back. Their bravery inspires us to confront our own fears, no matter how overwhelming they may seem. We can face the darkness. We can choose to step out of the shadows, to confront what scares us, and to find hope even when things seem hopeless. It reminds us that fear is powerful, but so are we. It is more than just a scary story. It teaches us important lessons about friendship, courage, and hope. The Losers Club shows us that we are stronger together. They remind us that even the most ordinary people can be heroes. It also teaches us about the power of facing our fears. When we confront our fears, we take away their power. We become stronger. It is a story that stays with us long after we finish reading it. It reminds us that there are things to be afraid of in the world, but it also shows us that we can overcome our fears. We can find the courage to face the darkness, and we can do it together.